Ranked number 1 in the preseason, the Orange suffered a devastating overtime loss to the Maryland Terrapins in the quarterfinals of last year's NCAA tournament.
As this year's team begins preparations for the 2012 campaign, we'll introduce you to the names and games you'll need to know. Taking you inside and out of SU's squad, it's the CitrusTV Lacrosse Preview Show.
From Syracuse University's Manley Fieldhouse, here's Ryan Coletti and Amy Hayden.
Behind us, the team returns to the turf for the first time of the 2012 season.
And also for the first time, the team will be facing the camera, and Coach Desko will be sitting right here, Amy. What are you most looking forward to asking Coach?
Well, Ryan, last year it was all about the Syracuse 7, the top players in the nation, all right here on the Hill. I'm looking forward to finding out how he plans to fill a void like that.
And not to mention, one of those seniors was the winningest goalie in NCAA history. We'll be talking to the candidates to fill the big shoes of John Galloway.
But first, a look back at last season. Early on in the season, Syracuse and Virginia met in the Carrier Dome to battle for the number 1 spot. Syracuse pulled ahead early in the first quarter, but Virginia evened the score in the second. Tim Desko had a career high of 5 goals, pushing the Orange to a 12-10 win over the Cavaliers.
A week later, SU traveled down to Baltimore for the Face-Off Classic and a matchup against Georgetown. Through 60 minutes of lacrosse, the Hoyas and Orange were tied at 8. Then with just 2:19 left in overtime, senior Stephen Keogh ripped a low shot for the win. It was John Galloway's 48th career victory, passing Jay Pfeiffer for all-time wins at Syracuse. On a cool late March night, Syracuse traveled to Villanova Stadium. Cardiac Hughes pulled out another late win. This time it was off the stick of number 22. Galloway hit another milestone, tying Scott Bacigalupo for most wins in NCAA history.
Next stop for the Orange, New Meadowlands Stadium for the Big City Classic. The Orange dominated the first 3 quarters with 13 goals, but the Blue Devils came back with a vengeance at the end, scoring 9 in the second half. Despite the comeback, SU returned to the Hill with another win.
Still undefeated at 9-0, Hughes welcomed neighbor Cornell into the Dome. All-American Rob Pennell could not be contained. Cornell took a commanding 7-2 lead into the half. The Orange offense, without Tim Desko due to injury, didn't offer up much resistance from that point and suffered its first loss of the season.
Number 4 Syracuse welcomed in Big East foe and number 1 team in the country, Notre Dame. But despite the rankings, the Orange remained undefeated in the Big East.
Now the calendar hit mid-May, and it was business time for SU, NCAA tournament. In the quarterfinals, it was a matchup with ACC champion Maryland. It was a back-and-forth battle throughout the first half when both teams headed to the locker room tied at 2. With Hughes on its heels, still down 1, with under 2 to go, Joe Von Miller gave SU a chance. But in OT, Grant Catalino stunned goalie John Galloway, and the Orange lost in the quarterfinals for the first time in 30 years.
The class of 2011 left its mark on Syracuse lacrosse as the winningest class in program history, boasting 60 wins and only 8 losses in 4 years. A big contributor to those wins, Stephen Keogh. The crease attackman led the team in goals since his sophomore year, but his absence leaves the Orange without their go-to game winner. Last year, Keogh had 6 game-winning goals.
Teammates have called Joe Von Miller a great leader and motivator. Miller struggled midway through the season last year, but had 2 key points in a close win over Villanova and extended the Orange's quarterfinal loss against Maryland.
Midfielder Josh Amadon played in every game for the last 3 years. He might not stand out on the stat sheet, but this All-American honorable mention was a defined and noticed presence on the field.
Jeremy Thompson's statistics were down his senior season, but he was still a threat on the fast break as SU's primary face-off specialist and its top scoring midfielder.
Close defender John Lade started every game he played for the Orange. At the close of his college career, the All-American was named the best close defender in the nation.
Last but certainly not least were long stick midi Joel White and goalie John Galloway. More coming up on them later in the show, but those were the Syracuse 7 that left a historic mark on the SU program. Altogether, Keogh's 41 points tied for the team lead, sharing that with JoJo Marasco, who again will be wearing the legendary number 22.
That number reserved for the great players of Syracuse lacrosse. Marasco is certainly expected to be a key member of the Orange offense again this season. In 2011, he started all 17 games at attack, but moved in and out of the midfield as well. Marasco will not only lead the offense from behind the cage, but also as a team captain. The junior earned an honorable mention as a preseason All-American. Along with Marasco is fellow junior Brian McGill, again a team captain and a preseason All-American. Senior Bobby Eilers was also elected by his teammates to serve as a captain. Eilers had his breakout season in 2011. He led the reserve middies with 8 goals. And rounding out the captain spots is attack Tim Desko, following in the footsteps of his father and current head coach John. Tim is the 4th Desko honored with that title after his uncles Jeff and Dave. Tim suffered a knee injury last season, but begins his senior year as a preseason All-American on the 3rd team.
Last year, Syracuse was the preseason #1 with 4 preseason All-Americans on the first team alone. But the drop in expected talent is reflected in the poll, as Syracuse is slotted at number 7 in the Inside Lacrosse preseason rankings. Last year's champion Virginia takes the top spot, Duke comes in at number 2, and the only team to beat SU in the regular season, Cornell, comes in at number 3.
After an uncertain fall semester, defensive midfielder Kevin Drew returns to the Hill for his senior season. Drew is known for his great speed and his ability to transition the ball down the field. Last October, Drew was suspended indefinitely from school and the team due to a DWI arrest. In his junior season, he collected more ground balls than any active short stick on the team and finished the season with 7 points. In mid-January, the senior was drafted into the MLL by the Rochester Rattlers.
Coming up on Citrus TV's Lacrosse Preview Show.
Coach Desko joins me to talk about the season ahead.
And on the other side, we'll introduce you to this year's attack. Who steps in for last year's leading goal scorer? Find out when the Lacrosse Preview Show returns.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
Today, about 1 in 5 Americans is living with a disability. Over 50 million people, including many of our friends and neighbors, teachers and co-workers, heroes and leaders. 20 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then, and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead. Visit disability.gov to see how you can help.
Learning how to kickflip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Citrus TV, your inside VIP pass to Orange Lacrosse. Now back to Citrus TV's Lacrosse Preview Show.
SU's up-tempo offense gets a jump start with a healthy Tim Desko returning. The coach's son suffered a knee injury that hindered production down the stretch for the Qs. Tom Pelisak is also back for his senior campaign. The attackman who transferred from Johns Hopkins before last season is a dual threat, dodging and dishing. Jojo Marasco will be alternating between attack and midfield again this year. And speaking of the midfield, the Orange are looking to replace every starter from last year. Hakeem Leckie missed all of last year with a wrist injury, and Coach Desko is raving about the redshirt freshman's speed. Last year, Bobby Eilers and Steve Ianzito were a part of an impressive second midfield line. Eilers led the group with 8 goals. Ianzito earned a point in 6 of the last 10 games.
And heading into his 13th year leading the Orange is SU head coach John Desko. After a successful career on the lacrosse field, Desko returned to the Hill as an assistant coach. In 2000, he took over from the legendary Syracuse coach Roy Simmons Jr. and began to create a legend of his own. With 11 tournament runs and 5 national titles, he owns the highest winning percentage of any active coach. I'm joined now by head coach John Desko. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So every year people ask you, how are you going to replace last year's graduates? But this year you're replacing the Syracuse 7. How do you even begin to fill that void?
Yeah, it's it's difficult, but you really don't have time to think about it too much. You've got to really focus on what you have coming back, not what you lost. And we've got some guys stepping up and doing a very good job. I think this year it's a little bit different than the last couple of years where we've approached fall practice and early spring practice. And it's really pretty exciting because everybody that's out there is kind of playing for a starting spot or a second midfield group, some serious playing time. And there's no preconceived ideas coming in this year with the 7 of 10 guys graduating in starting spots and guys like Joel White and Timmy Harder going. So a lot of competition going on. It's a different feel in the air, and it's kind of nice.
What's their mindset coming into this season?
Well, I think they feel they've got a little bit to prove with such big graduation from last year's team. Some of the rankings have come out, and they've been 5th and 8th and 11th in different polls. So I think that's, they've taken it on as kind of a challenge. And us as coaches, I think we're more concerned about, getting a starting group out there, who are going to be the backups, who's going to be on man up, man down, short stick positions, replacing those guys, and then just trying to get them as much experience as possible going into this new year.
So the game of college lacrosse has slowed considerably in the past few years, and you've had some suggestions on how to get it back up to speed. What do you think would get that game back to what it was?
I think that we need to learn from a game like basketball that's been through what we've been through. They've been through years ago teams stalling the ball and just passing the ball around, not trying to go to the basket. They got rid of the jump ball. So that's just a couple of things. If we score a goal, take the ball out of bounds and start to push it upfield. And don't allow a team to stall the ball for minutes at a time. You put a shot clock in, it solves all that.
So Kevin Drew is returning today. What led to the decision to reinstate him?
Well, you had two issues there. You had a university issue where the university had to look to see what he has done since last semester when this all happened. It's a pretty big penalty. Kevin was out of school last semester, lost all those credits. His parents lost all the money they paid towards his tuition and room and board. And he had to do a lot of things off the field, somewhat personal, so I'm not going to get into everything here. But he put in many hours himself trying to correct what he's done and to have a chance to get back in school. And it's fortunate for him that he has and that he's done enough for them to let him back in school. He's going to still have to do some things. He's still going to have to do some things for the lacrosse team. And but we're happy that he's back and he can get back to his education and playing lacrosse.
What sort of things does he have to do for the lacrosse team now that he's back?
Well, that's very personal, and we'll deal with that, and he'll deal with that, and but we're going to make sure it's done in a way where he's going to learn from it, and can make some amends for what he's been through.
Okay. Thanks so much for joining us today, Coach. Now we're going to send it down to Ryan, who's on the field.
Up next on Citrus TV's Lacrosse Preview Show.
Joe Fazio introduces us to the orange off the field.
Yeah, off the field. It should be interesting. I don't really know what's going to happen or what people are going to say, but hopefully it's nice.
Stay tuned.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
I mean, it's obviously pretty tough. All the goalies are very good.
I think everybody wants the pressure, which is why we're fighting for the job.
It's good, but I mean, we push each other every day in practice. We're always making sure we're at the top of our game.
It's a great dynamic, you know. Goalies are a weird bunch, and we're sticking together.
Got to come out and work hard at practice every single day, and got to bring your A game.
We're all pushing, trying to get a spot. Who wouldn't want to play at Syracuse?
As if we haven't already told you enough, Syracuse has a big void to fill, left by the class of 2011. Arguably, one of the most notable absences is that of all-star goalie John Galloway. In his 4 years as a starting goalie, he not only made his mark on Syracuse, but college lacrosse as well. With 59 career wins, Galloway has more victories than any goalie in NCAA history. He also is the only starting goalie to win national championships both freshman and sophomore year. The West Jenny grad allowed an average of under 7 goals per game in his senior year, the best mark in Syracuse history. 2012 brings a new Syracuse 7, but this group consists of the 7 goalies on SU's roster, all vying to fill the empty place left in the goal by their predecessor, John Galloway. Lacrosse reporter Jackie Dresch introduces us to the 7 candidates and the healthy competition between teammates. 4-year starter John Galloway left Syracuse with a laundry list of accomplishments. But aside from his credentials, his absence will hurt Syracuse's clearing game. During his time with the Orange, Galloway was the main contributor to the team's clearing percentage, an average around 87%. He's been recognized by many lacrosse experts as the best clearing goalie to play in the college cage.
John was able to hit those 90-yard passes on a dime while the guy's on the run.
I've never seen a guy who can do that before, let alone he used to do it with both hands, left and right. I've never seen a goalie or even a defenseman who can do that.
With 7 goalies ranging in age and experience to replace Galloway, the practice situation for the Orange has become a challenge.
2 goals and 7 goalies trying to get everyone in. You can tell when people get in the net, they don't want to get out, and nor should they want to. And I think everyone understands what it takes to be the starting goaltender for Syracuse Lacrosse. And you have to be on your game every day, and if you're not, it could slip by you.
The opportunity to take over in the net is within Lerman's grasp. Head coach John Desko has described the redshirt sophomore as a good save in the net and has said that his experience as Galloway's backup has given him the edge. John Galloway has seen Lerman's ability firsthand and gives his possible replacement a vote of confidence.
I think Matt has so many strengths. I think his ball stopping capability probably exceeded mine.
The battle in the cage will most likely come to an end when Syracuse kicks off its season with its first exhibition game. Jackie Dresch, CitrusTV. Thanks, Jackie. It'll be interesting to see who becomes the team's go-to goalie. But the cage isn't the only spot of uncertainty on that end of the field. 2 of the 3 starting defenders graduated last year, along with long-stick midi Joel White. SU defense goes from being one of the best in the nation to being an area of question. The only returning starter from last year is Brian McGill. He brings reliability to a defense line in transition. Next up on the close defense is junior Dave Hamlin. He played in 15 games last season, often making his appearance on the field during man-down situations. And junior Joe Fazio should finally have his chance to hit the field in his junior season. In place of Joel White is sophomore Matt Harris. He has the most experience of the possible long-stick middies and saw plenty of playing time in the face-off wing last season. Rounding out the defensive spots are short-stick middies Kevin Drew and Joe Moore, and close defenders Kyle Carey and newcomer Ralph DeAugustino.
Last year, while wearing 1-1 on his back, Joe White became SU's all-time career leader in ground balls. This season, the number will be worn by junior defender Brian McGill. 3 Dog Night told us that 1 is the loneliest number, but Citrus TV's Josh Wetmore explains how 1 and 1 together has special meaning to the Orange D.
When you think of Syracuse lacrosse, you really only think of one number, the legendary 22. Former SU All-Americans Joel White and Steve Panarelli have another number in mind. They want to make number 11 the 22 of the defense, and Brian McGill is next in line.
We were kind of just, shooting around and talking about it, and Brian McGill was standing there, and we just, decided to, see if he would be interested in taking it, and, just what better guy to take it than him.
It took me a long time to try and think about it, like I was number 10 my first 2 years. Do I really want to change numbers this far into my career? And I was just like, if these two guys, these legends here at Syracuse Lacrosse want me to wear it, it'd be an honor.
McGill's teammate Jojo Marasco knows what it's like to be carrying the torch of legends past every time he puts on his jersey.
It does give pressure, but guys like us, we like that pressure, and that's why we took these numbers. And we go out there every day trying to give the team our best and show them why we deserve to wear these numbers and what we're trying to keep this legacy going.
White and Panarelli are confident that the junior team captain can do the number justice. McGill just wants to do enough to keep the tradition alive.
If I could do half of what Joel and Steve have done, I'll take it as a win for me.
If he can turn number 11 into that special number for us at the defensive end of the field, I'm all for it.
While the full future of number 11 is still unwritten, White can't help but picture what it might become.
If I'm 50 and watching number 11 run around there and hear my name, obviously that's going to be a great thing too.
Josh Wetmore, Citrus TV.
Ryan Clitty with number 5, Joe Fazio, junior defense for Syracuse. And Joe, you're going to give us a little bit of insight on these players outside the lines. Give us an inside scoop into their personalities. So
definitely going to try. Definitely going to try. It's a fun team. It's always been that way here at Syracuse. So we're going to keep working at it. And a lot of these guys, we all get together. We're always together. It's one of those teams that's very close with each other with inside jokes and everything like that. So we'll take a quick run around. We got Steven Ianzino, number 24. The handlebars say everything. He's a good time. And we got Pagli, Christian out of Connecticut. Little big kid. He's got a gun on him. Really slings it. He's actually the DJ of our team. He's got all the music. So what's this good guy?
Theme song for this year at all?
What do you think, Pagli?
Definitely don't want to give too much away.
Are you guys one of those teams that have a song for after a win? You guys have to play a certain song?
Yes. Last year it was Katy Perry Firework.
This year not decided just yet.
Not sure. We know that Jesse J's Domino is definitely in the running. It's definitely climbing our charts, but Swedish House Mafia is up there, so we got some good stuff. It should be a fun decision at the end.
What about Joe Moore over here?
We got J6 to Jomo. He's as you see, he's out of Jersey, and you always know the Jersey kids are very proud of it. So, you still got it or no? You still got it? You want to show or no? He's got the Jersey under his lip.
Oh, we got a tattoo on the whip?
Don't do that.
There you go.
We got Timmy over here.
He's kind of busy, so let's get some insight now.
I'll say this about Timmy. I think Timmy is really jealous that he can't go snowboarding right now. He loves to snowboard, and since we're in season, we try to stay away from that because there's a lot of injuries involved with it. This is Matthew Wehrman from the Philadelphia area, Villanova area. Right?
Yeah, Villanova to be precise,
so,
exactly.
Matt's a great kid. He's one of the junior class also. And, Matt is definitely known for his dance move and the Dougie.
I don't know how to Dougie.
You don't? You do?
Making it up.
He does know how to Dougie. He's hiding it. Is there any chance you would do the Dougie right now?
If I knew how to do it, I would. He doesn't know how to do it.
I can try. If I try, you follow it. Yeah, see, there it is. Yes, there it is. Beautiful. Beautiful. I told you. Thank you, Matt.
A little bit, I know.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Matt, great time. You'll be hearing a lot more about that.
You think the dance moves help him in goals?
Definitely. Great footwork. It's all about the footwork.
So anything on JoJo, real quick?
JoJo and me have roomed since freshman year, and he's a great kid.
Good job, Jeff.
Really bright smile. Really enjoys his time, and we've enjoyed him. And he always has comments like, I would sit in my room and hear down the hall when SportsCenter's top 10's on. You hear the comment, "Oh my God!" every time. Maybe it could be the whole 10 plays. You hear it all the time. It's really funny. So it's a comment we always make in the house whenever there's a good play. We always say it. But JoJo's a lot of fun, and we've enjoyed him. And I wish he wasn't hiding. Wish I could find him, but
yeah, I do too. But
yeah,
unfortunately, can't. Well, Joe Fazio.
Thanks a lot.
Excellent
I
introduction.
appreciate it. I hope I
do
did
have
well enough, but
if the lacrosse thing doesn't work out, you got a future in late night. I'm pretty
funny, sure. Yeah, definitely.
Coming up on Citrus TV's Lacrosse Preview Show.
How does SU's eventual move to the ACC affect lacrosse?
That conference definitely about to become an even bigger powerhouse. But for now, the Orange looks forward to the first Big East tournament. We'll check out key 2012 matchups next.
Today, about 1 in 5 Americans is living with a disability. Over 50 million people, including many of our friends and neighbors, teachers and co-workers, heroes and leaders. 20 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then, and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead. Visit disability.gov to see how you can help.
Get some more competition in the schedule.
It'd be nice to change things up, play them in the season.
Playing teams like that in a regular season is really boosting the competition level.
It's good for the program and it's good for the game of lacrosse.
Welcome back to the CitrusTV Lacrosse Preview Show. You just got a glimpse of some ACC lacrosse there, and when Syracuse joins, Coach Desko says it will be a super conference. Combined, these four teams have won 12 national titles, including the last two, Duke in 2010 and Virginia last year. All four teams are ranked in the preseason top 10.
An ACC gain is a Big East loss. Syracuse has brought a number of accomplishments and titles to the Young Big East Conference. With over 800 all-time wins, the Orange has 20 lacrosse Hall of Famers in its historic past and is the only program in the Big East to have Tewaaraton winners. Of the 7 Big East teams, Syracuse is the only one to have won a national championship. Outside of SU, Georgetown and Notre Dame are the only other two to have made Final Four appearances. And the St. John's program has never even made it to the NCAA tournament.
Villanova will be hosting the first ever Big East tournament in lacrosse this year on May 3rd and 5th. The winner receives an automatic bid to the 2012 NCAA tournament. Only the top 4 teams in the conference at the end of the regular season will qualify. Now let's look at SU's top matchups this season. First game of note, March 4th against defending champion Virginia. The Cavaliers feature last year's Tewaaraton Trophy winner, Steele Stanwick. The Orange are on the road again when they face preseason number 4 Johns Hopkins. And no joke, on April Fool's Day, Duke and Syracuse square off in the Big City Classic for the second straight year. But of course, the date the Orange will be keeping on its mind, May 28th, the date of the NCAA Championship game at Gillette Stadium.
That's right, but you can stay up to date on the regular season by following Citrus TV's coverage on the Orange Television Network and Time Warner Cable Sports.
This has been the 2012 Lacrosse Preview Show.
Thanks for watching.
3, it's rolling? We are rolling? Yeah.
It's weird.
3, 2.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. I'll nod. Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Girls do that. You do that.
Thanks.
Natural anyway.
That's what I'm going to say.
Gillette has such good food in the press box.
Did on the last impression.
So I don't have to say Boston. More is it? We're rolling probably, aren't we? I'm not going to say anything bad about Boston. It could come back to haunt me when I have to work there.
Okay. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Nope, I didn't like that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. We'll figure it out. But first, that's what I'm going to say. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm really sorry. Okay. You can stay up to date. Use Countdown and On the Bench on Time Warner Sports Cable.
Time Warner Cable Sports. You wrote it down?
I'm sorry.
Did I just mess up my hair?
By watching On the Bench and Q's Countdown on Time Warner Sports Network. Ooh, sorry. On Time Warner Sports Cable. The Inside Scoop by watching Q's Countdown and On the Bench on Time Warner Cable Sports.
And on the SU campus, it's the Orange Television Network.
This has been the 2012 Lacrosse Preview Show.
Thanks for watching.
Sorry, I just messed it up.
What?